Can't see him, I guess. I see no trace of the person it once was. Must be the blasphemy they spoke of. The horrors of Amarat born anew. Hold on. I think I'm gonna set this as a thingamajiggy. Is this?
As I feared.
What is it?
The beast was there, and now it is no more. Yes?
Indeed. We saw it plain. But you didn't, did you?
I saw nothing. Not the blasphemy that perished here, nor the other men turned beasts. And because of this, I now see all too well. There is no ether. Where the creatures should be, I saw naught but emptiness.
Oh, ether?
Emptiness? But that would mean...
Recall the words of the Watcher. 'Twas a stagnancy of ether, a cessation of flow, leading to decay and absence, that led the ancients to conclude their star was dying. This is the same phenomenon. The instant these people are seized by the transformation, their ether begins to rot and crumble away like dried mud. Until, from their corporeal forms to their very souls, naught remains.
But the beast spoke with its dying breath. Surely at least a sliver of the man it was endured.
Mayhaps so. But even if the process was incomplete, it was little more than a faint residue.
Gods be good. You're saying they cannot be saved?
Not by any means known to me. Or by any means at all, like as not. For there is naught left to save.
They return not even to the ethereal sea.
The beasts rage on, their hunger insatiable. Even deprived of their master, they perpetuate his legacy of hate. Once proud sons and daughters of Thavnir, all of them, and now I spill their blood.
Vitra, my friends, I am heartened to see you safe. You put your secret at risk. Those closest to me already know the truth. A truth I must now share with one and all. Vitra, calamity has come to Radzatan. Our fair nation is rent by screams of pain and despair. More than ever, we require a strong leader to shepherd us through the storm. Reveal your true self to our people, Vitra, and guide us to salvation.
What madness is this, Iwan? Thou dost forget thyself. Were we to reveal our duplicity, it would do naught but foster confusion and chaos. Nay, I shall remain the Satrap's loyal ally, and do battle with the beasts. Easing hearts and leading the people to safety is thy task, and thine alone. I ask that you remain at Ahewan's side, and render unto him what aid you may. I know not what lies ahead, but without you, Rad-et-Han will not survive.
Take me with you. I am as at home fighting in the air as I am on land. Take me with you.
Were my words unclear? I require no assistance. Thy place is at Ahewan's side.
Estinian, here. The last thing you ever wanted, a link pearl. We'd gain much from knowing your elevated perspective. And it'll keep you from getting lonely, which I know you loathe.
Yeah.
You heard the man. Seems I'm coming with you after all.
Then I pray thy grip is iron. Be it on thy head if thou dost chance to fall.
Fair enough. Now, shall we? I fear it is as Vithra says. We will not survive this on our own. While I am loath to impose upon you again,
I would insist if you did not. 'Tis the very reason we have come.
then once more I find myself without words to thank you properly. Let us return to the capital and plan our next course of action.
It's gonna start spreading everywhere else, though, right? Wonder how much of the world is gonna be happening. Well, how much of the world is gonna be happening too? Because it was already starting to happen in Ishgard. Our radiant host has eliminated the immediate threat to the city, though it pains me to know those beasts were once my own people. There is no telling when or where the next transformation might occur. We must remain vigilant and steel ourselves for whatever is yet to come. Forgive me, my friends, but I must return to Megaduda for the time being. There I can manage this crisis and dispatch my troops as the situation demands. In that case, we shall carry out an investigation from our own here in the city. Mayhap the residents can tell us more about the first of the transformations and the conditions under which it occurred. If we can ascertain what exactly triggered these tragic events, it may give us some insight as to a possible solution. Time is of the essence. Let us split into 3 groups that we may cover more ground. Alize and I will see to Pax's path, Denkan and Yashola pray make for Dharma. I leave Artha to Graha and you, Ceres. Any information you can gather on the first blasphemy or the manifestation of the final days here in the city would be most helpful. When we have completed our respective inquiries, let us reconvene in front of Megaduta, that we may share what we've learned with the satrap. Alrighty then. Are we off then? Artha is home to the High Crucible of Alchemia, whose alchemists forged many of our warding skills. That seems as good a place as any to begin our investigation, I think. I spoke briefly with Nuhadin, the chief alchemist there, on our last visit. He should be happy to answer our queries. I could teleport over there. I wonder if I can teleport. I probably can't. It's a Garaha, isn't me? I already tuned to the ether right here, right? Oh, the ether is temporarily disabled. There. Oh, I remember those red eyes. You were with those scions who commissioned the scales from us, yes? Welcome me back to the High Crucible. What brings you here in these troubling times? You're assisting the satrap investigating the crisis that plagues the city. Do you happen to catch sight of any other creatures? I did. As I was going about my work, I was disturbed by crashing footsteps so powerful that the very ground shook. I rushed outside and could not believe what I beheld. The night sky was burning. Suddenly I heard panicked screams coming from the direction of the Balsan Bazaar. The next instant, a monstrous beast poked its head out from amidst the stalls. A handful of the Radiants rushed to the scene, only to be sent sprawling as the fiend and its minions propelled themselves skyward. The blasphemy came from the vicinity of the markets. This knowledge may prove useful. I thank you for sharing your tale. I do believe we now know where we should inquire next. The bazaar, then. Alright. Bazaar? So this is the Hafnarian weave. I must say it bears a resemblance to the traditional fabrics of Corvos. I wonder, really, given that it's just across the water. Not that I am much of an expert in Corvosi culture. I have not had the occasion to visit my ancestral home since coming to Charlian. Like as not, I will never reside there again. That said, in recent days I have felt more acutely aware of my heritage. Grateful for it. It's thanks to my forebears that I inherited the royal eye, and with it the wisdom of ancient Alag. And so, well, I simply hope that my countrymen are safe. One day, when this calamity is but a memory, we'll like to see Corvos again. Give me, but my shop's closed until further notice. Needless to say, we have more pressing concerns these days. We have come not in search for wares, but information concerning the enormous fiend that tore through the bazaar. Did you perchance witness anything? Oh. Afraid not, my friend. I was here the whole time, so I only saw its little minions. Made a mess of my place, they did. While that was going on, the great big one tore through the west side of the bazaar. You'd have better luck going over there. Something the matter, traveler? If you're lost, perhaps I could be of assistance. Your offer is most appreciated. We are not lost, but we are in need of information. But you know anything about the gargantuan beast that rampaged through the bazaar? Aye, I saw it all, though I wish I had not. I was going about my work when all of a sudden a piercing scream cut through the air. I turned around and there was the fiend, its massive body bursting through that entryway with the force tidal wave. Then it was gone as quickly as it came. Sisters, have mercy. What is happening to the world? What am I to do? We're safe? Go down, friend. The danger has passed, at least. If it's not too painful to remember, could you tell us what we saw? First I heard the screams. Then a horde of ravening beasts came charging towards us. One of them was huge, bigger than a Merid, throwing people about like ragdolls, and it was eating them. I hid under the counter, saw others do the same. But the shrieking and wailing kept getting louder, more voices in the throng, beasts or victims I couldn't tell. I knew not what was happening, I still don't. There's enough, my good man. You were brave to share with us your tale. Many of your fellow merchants are safe. I Crucible too has survived mostly unscathed. Pray stay close to your friends and loved ones, and rest your body and mind while you are able. I suspect that is the most we can expect the people here to tell us. I think it best we find a place outside the bazaar where we might rest and review our findings. Judging by their accounts, the transformation had already occurred by the time the beasts reached the bazaar. They tore through the west side of the bazaar and headed towards the Aetheryte Plaza. In other words, the blasphemy may have first appeared in this vicinity. That being the case, the people in that mayhem can surely tell us more. This one? Didn't. Going after the enormous beast, are you? I saw it, including the very instant that poor bastard transformed. Damn the gods for putting me there. It started over there by the window. A few men, merchants probably, talking and drinking. Conversation must have taken a turn for the worse. Next thing I know, their leader, I suppose he was, buries his head in his hands, and black mist was swirling about him. Then his whole body bursts apart, and there stands a hideous, slavering beast, massive and foul, all gaping maws and bulging eyes. His friends start shrieking, then the black mist comes again, so the change takes them too. Stuff of nightmares, I'd say. Perish indeed. And incidentally, do you perchance know who those merchants were? No, I'm a decorator by trade. Not much cause to mingle with their sort. Saw Melil, the barmaid, chatting with them, though she might know something. Even after repairing all that damage, it'll take a while for business to pick up again. When the blasphemy? What the Radiant had been calling it anyway. I saw it too. We all did. I was standing here at the counter as Marie poured me a drink. Suddenly there came this dreadful sound, like a pained, angry tone. It was unlike anything I've ever heard. I turned around in shock, and from an ominous cloud of black mist rose the creature, enormous and ghastly to behold. As for what happened next, I recall it sent shivers up my spine. By some stroke of fortune, I was able to slip outside before the beast got its claws on me. But the sight that greeted me offered no solace. The blue sky above turned red as blood. Reed, myself, and the other survivors clung to each other for dear life until the Radiant host came to our aid. Wait, did I hear you correctly? The beast manifested before the sky began to burn? Certain of it, the windows here have a clear view of the sky, and I saw nothing out of the ordinary until the beast appeared and began to rage. Oh, hello there. Welcome to Marie's Main. What can I get for you? You have come not for libations, but rather for information. You're Melil, yes? You're investigating the so-called blasphemy on the satrap's behalf. We hear it was one of your customers, a merchant that first underwent the transformation. What can you tell us about him? He was something of a regular here, especially of late. Kalzal was his name. Kalzal. Wasn't that... That was that guy in the beginning, right? When we first came to them here, right? He ran his own consortium, dealing primarily in the exports of the Avnerian specialties. It's through him we went Matsya. Yeah, I knew it. That was him? Yes, the names ring a bell. Didn't you meet them both on your first trip to Thavner? If I recall correctly, Kalzal ran a trading operation in Yeromad, and it was there that you met Matsia's acquaintance. Yes, this is the same Kalzal, no doubt. A rather successful man from what I gather. That said, it was clear that he had fallen on hard times of late. Those ghastly towers popping up everywhere cannot have been good for business. Even now, with the towers gone, the collapse of the empire has led to all sorts of problems elsewhere. The market for luxuries is surely not what it once was. Trying times for the head of a trading consortium indeed. Kalzal was a compassionate man, even as his own business suffered. He did what he could to provide for the artisans, fishermen, and many others who counted on him to sell their wares. That was the very topic of yesterday's meeting, as far as I could hear. Yet, to discuss matters further, Kalzal's tone grew grave and grim. It was then that... Forgive me, I would not have to recall the memory if it brings you pain. If I could, I would ask just one more thing. Do you notice anything unusual about Kalzal in particular? Please, anything at all. Sorry, nothing comes to mind. Perhaps someone else can help you. Kalzal lived for his work and had no family that I knew of. His employees and associates knew him best, but they too are lost to us. Still, perhaps his neighbors know something I do not. I can direct you to them if you believe it will help. What do you say? He turned into one of you turned into that big one. Oh my god. Hell. Mind changing? Kalzal made his home in Kama, a nearby residential area. What I gathered, Kalzal lived there since childhood and was known throughout the neighborhood. Kama. The name is new to me. How do we get there? I'll write down some directions. I cannot promise that you will find what you seek there, but if nothing else, it is a start. Come, let's see where this leads us. Or is it just straight up cloud? What the fuck is he doing? Let's see, after leaving the Mayhem, we're to retrace our steps and head back towards the Aetheryte Plaza. From here, we ascend the stairs. Oh, then we go boom, boom, boom. This must be huge, in which case we should take the path leading southeast. If we keep going this way, we should arrive in Kama before long. Walking these unfamiliar streets is quite the adventure, isn't it? I can only hope we can explore routes at hand at our leisure once this crisis has passed. Me too. This must be Kama. We arrived at last. Let us begin questioning the residents without delay. No doubt someone here can tell us more about Kalzal. Given recent events, I imagine many are taking shelter indoors. No sooner had the weather turned than those nasty beasts started running amok. Safe here though, surely. Oh, they're gonna be inside. Bow, bow, bow. Azali say? Yes, I've known him since he was a boy. If there was ever a man who was born to be a merchant, it was him. Always early to depart and late to return. He spent his days procuring the finest wares and seeking out willing customers. You'd say it came to him as easily as breathing. The alley business was flagging of late. Surprised really, but with how dangerous travel has become. He was cooped up in his house from dawn till dusk the other day, no doubt racking his brain for a way to turn his fortunes around. Then at night, I heard the door open. Looked out to see Kalzal sitting on a bench, his head hung low, a man with the weight of the world on his shoulders. The situation must have been quite dire indeed. Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary? Nothing to speak of, other than the troubles with his consortium. He's the same old Kalzal, cordial and honest, like always. These questions you are asking, has something happened to him? He wasn't caught up in a terrible incident at the bazaar, was he? I don't travel much these days, but my daughters told me not to venture outside. Looking here as I am, I've heard little about this bizarre goings-on. Rest assured, the city is safe for now, but the situation may change without warning. I urge you, stay close to your daughter. Be prepared to take refuge should the Sachap order it. Guessing it is like losing hope. Did you come back another time? I just woke up and I'm not exactly in the mood for idle chit-chat. Well, that's one way to avoid the panic, I suppose. Pardon our intrusion. You may not have noticed, but a great danger has come to Thavner. I encourage you to stay alert and prepare to flee the city should the situation turn dire. Before we leave you in peace, pray allow us to ask a question or two. Did you know a local merchant named Kalzal? Oh, did you notice anything unusual about him recently? Kalzal? I know him. In fact, we spoke just the other day. Like many others, his business was doing poorly. Still, it seemed as though he'd managed to turn things around, thanks to a generous order from Ruvida Fibers. He was practically dancing in the streets. I haven't spoken with him since, but I assume it all went well. Jinabaha might be able to tell more, though, as I recall he was the one who brokered the arrangement. Jinabaha Ruvida Fibers. Now we're gonna be running all over the place, and I can't TP. I wanna risk jumping over the edge. Probably not. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, these stairs lead to Dharma. It is quite the sight high above. During the final days of yore, the heavens burned all the stars, and the stars fell. Creation magics ran amok. My assumption when I saw Emerald. Perhaps the ancients believed the same, that the terror of a single powerful individual was the cause of their calamity. Yet those self-same horrors now manifest themselves before our eyes. What could it be that sets the heavens aflame and turns ordinary men into beasts? They're farming silkworms. This must be Riverdale Fibers. Where should we find Jinabaha? Really down there. And hurry, I say. There's no time to waste. Pardon me, but you're in charge of buying and selling here, yes? We have a few questions that we'd like to... I'm sorry, but I simply don't have the time to chat. If you haven't noticed, we have our hands full at the moment. We must carry all our wares and equipment to safety before those accursed beasts return. In that case, might we be of assistance? Perhaps we could speak when the job is done. Very well. You can start by helping us move our equipment. The others what to put where. You can carry our fabrics. Go through that door and speak with Kamala. She'll tell you the rest. Remember, these textiles are our livelihood. Handle them with care. Hello, Kamala. This area is for employees only. Out. Out. Need help. What's that? You've come to help? Oh, praise be to the Mindaruva. Kind stranger, I welcome your assistance. On your way here, you pass through storehouses, yes? I'd like you to carry that small crate to Nabrifal, but a storehouse near the hatchery. The crate of clothing is for Manuha, and that massive crate there goes to Zemira for the middle storehouse. Put your back with that one. Those are all the crates we have ready. Once you've delivered, consider your work complete. Great. That is it. Then you come to the right place. We thank you for aid. If you have any crates of finished products such as carpets, clothing, and the like, pray bring them here to our primary storehouse. You're full of clothing, is it? I can take that off your hands. Many thanks for the delivery. Oh God. I say you're quite the brawny one, aren't you? Good thing that. Never know when you'll need to defend yourself in these unpredictable times. You're full of fabrics, is it? Exactly what I was hoping to receive. Here, let me put that away for you. You carried all the crates to the storehouse, as I say? And so quickly, too. I've never seen anyone so strong. And my associates will see to the rest, so please return to Gina Baha and assure him our work is proceeding apace. Tell the truth, we're grateful for this distraction. Many terrible happenings of late, but generous souls like yourself give me hope that we may emerge from this trial even stronger. I pray we meet again in more peaceful times. Done as I asked, have you? If Kamala is satisfied with your work, then so am I. You've done us a great favor, traveler. I too have delivered the instruments and apparatus entrusted to me. You both have my thanks. With our wares safely stored away, we'll not lose any more of those fiends. I take it that your establishment did not escape the attack unscathed? We did not. Thankfully, most of our workers had already left for the day. But those of us still here saw it all. We looked to the burning skies in confusion, and then, before we could even begin to make sense of it, a hideous creature burst through the doors, shrieking. We ran for our lives, but one of my colleagues was not so fortunate. He cried out a scream of such agony, such terror. The next instant, he too sprouted fearsome claws. The sight of it caused another fellow to panic, and then he too transformed. sorry, there was something you wanted to ask? Indeed. You knew the merchant Calzal, did you not? I believe he had some dealings with your establishment. Calzal? I know him well. We'd arranged for his consortium to deliver a large shipment of fabrics, but in the end we received a better offer and had to turn him down. I understand his business is struggling, but so is ours. Another of our most reliable trading partners agreed to transport the goods for a much smaller commission. We'd have been fools to refuse. Felt terrible for withdrawing the offer, but you must understand we simply had no choice. He tried to put on a brave face when I delivered the news, but his dejection and despair were plain as day. He said he discussed it with his associates, but I could tell he'd all but given up hope. Dejection and despair. You remember what we saw in Vanaspati, yes? Soldiers and jungle dwellers pushed to the very brink, turning into beasts one after the next. It would seem the same phenomena occurred here. The poor craftsmen attacked by the fiends, as well as those that witness it, all undergoing the change. I suspect that everything began with Calzal. By all accounts, it was he who suffered from the most profound and piercing despair. Wait, that be it? Such intense emotions were what triggered his transformation? Much remains unclear, but I believe we are drawing closer to an answer. At any rate, we must discuss our findings with the others. I knew it. We were to reconvene with the others in front of Megaduta, were we not? That should be just outside. With any luck, they will have already returned from their own investigation. My friend, we must take our leave. I pray that your establishment is spared further tragedy. But remember, your lives are far more precious than anywhere's. If you are ordered to flee, do so without hesitation. Indeed, I thank you for your concern. Pray you too take care as well. Everybody's here?
There you are. You've spoken with the survivors.
Yep.
Indeed. We thought to share what we have gleaned, that we might together gain a greater understanding of present circumstances.
Fortuitous timing. Alize and I completed our own investigations not long ago.
Then we should take a moment to compare notes. Shall we begin with the two of you?
We might be a step closer to figuring out why they are turning into monsters.
So the merchant Calzal was gravely concerned about his business in the days preceding his untimely end.
The tales we heard were much the same. The first victims to be changed into blasphemies were all overcome with anguish of one manner or another. Then those who saw their loved ones stolen before their eyes succumbed to a similar panic, setting in motion a chain of transformations.
Fear, unease, despair. These negative feelings serve as a catalyst.
If so, then it is not unlike the calamity that befell the ancients. With their creation magics, they unwittingly gave form to untold horrors. Had they simply lost control, surely it would have manifested in many forms, not all of them monstrous. Yet somehow, This phenomenon is triggered solely by the darkness in their hearts, a common thread with what we now witness.
Common, but not identical. While the beasts the ancients faced were forged with magic alone, those of today are born of sentient beings. Why remains to be seen. But there is one fundamental difference between us and our predecessors. Our souls are sundered, whereas theirs were not. Perhaps that single variable makes all the difference.
If I may, there was another detail that troubled me. We have it on good authority that Karl Zahl's transformation took place before the skies began to burn.
What? If that's true, then the situation's more dire than we realized. It means even if there's no ominous sign presaging the final days, anyone, anywhere, has the potential to become a beast. Even in lands we thought safe, even as we speak.
There'll probably be a lot in Garlemald.
Look! It's the Satrap! The Satrap!
Thank the heavens.
My countrymen, I am relieved and heartened to see you strong and safe. While the danger has not yet passed, far from it, allow me to assure you that the beasts that raged within the city walls have been exterminated to the last. Outside this sanctuary, the brave men and women of the Radiant Host and our dragon ally continue to battle our unholy foes. I pray these tidings put your minds at ease and help you calm your hearts. Have faith that we shall soon conquer this terrible trial.
Your Excellency, is there any word from Palaka's stand? My grandson was bound for there yesterday and I worry for his life.
We are still awaiting a report, but I promise you, as soon as I have aught to share...
Your Excellency, I bring grave news.
You are?
I'm Matya of Akyali, a humble fisherman. Ah, I remember you from our first visit.
Yep.
Wait, you're... But no, that can wait. When the skies turned red, I set off for Palaka's stand, fearing for the safety of a friend. But as I drew near the village, I saw dreadful beasts all about.
No! Gods have mercy! Your Excellency! Save my grandson, I beg of you!
We will spare no effort to save all we can, but you must remain calm.
Calm? You tell me to be calm? You saw those beasts? They tore our bravest warriors limb from limb! What if we are too late, huh? They catch him, sink their fangs into him? The fangs! The screams!
Get away from her, now!
We've got to kill them before it spreads.
We'll handle this. See the townspeople to safety.
Oh no.
Run as fast as you can! Ah! 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 No! Ah!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Vitra, our people, you must save them.
Oh my god.
My son,
Enough! You must run. For their sake and your own. Yes, you will survive. You must.
The full transformation can be stopped at least. As they can calm down.
Be strong, my friends! Fear not, for we will defeat these abominations! Brave men and women of the Radiant Host, lend your Stola and Thancred your aid. Let not a single beast escape. The rest of you, flee this place. Carry the wounded if you must. Head indoors or underground. Above all, stay calm. No beast will follow you. We will see to that.
Alphino! Alice! Leave the city to us, and make for Palaka's stand at once! Matsya, show my friends to the village. I promise you, they're more capable than the host's finest.
Right. Go with them, will you? We will save these people. As many as we can.
Well, it sounded like he was back as I was as the Crystal Exarch.